Hello and a very warm welcome. On behalf of everyone here at ProTax Accountant, thanks for joining us. So, has that letter from HMRC landed on your doormat telling you they've adjusted your tax? I know, it's a moment that can cause a bit of a panic for just about anyone. But please, don't worry, we've put this guide together to show you exactly what that letter means and, more importantly, what you need to do next.
You see it, right? That brown envelope with the HMRC logo, and your heart does that little lurch. We've all been there. The letter says they've adjusted your taxes, and for most of us, the immediate thought is, oh no, what have I done wrong? But listen, the very first thing to do is just take a breath. This is a completely normal, routine part of the UK tax system. So, to get you from that initial worry to feeling completely in control, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll figure out what that letter actually is. Then, we'll look at why your tax might have been adjusted in the first place. We'll decode the calculation itself, show you exactly how to check the figures, outline your next steps, and finally, we'll cover your rights if you think they've got it wrong.
Okay, let's start with the letter you're actually holding. Now, in the vast majority of cases, this document is what's known as a P800 tax calculation. It's not a penalty, it's not an accusation. Think of it as just a review.
A P800 is basically HMRC's end-of-year tidy-up. If you're employed and you pay tax through the pay-as-you-earn system, that's PAYE, their computers run an automatic check. It compares the tax you've actually paid with what their records say you should have paid. The P800 is simply the result of that check, and it could go either way. It might mean you're due a nice refund or that you owe a little bit more.
So why does this even happen? I mean, isn't the whole point of PAY that you pay the right tax as you go? Well, yes, in theory, but it's best to think of the system as making a continuous estimate throughout the year. It's a really good system, but it isn't perfect. And sometimes, well, life changes faster than the system can keep up.
And the key to all of this is your tax code. You've probably seen it on your payslip. Think of it as a little instruction that HMRC sends to your employer. It tells them how much of your pay is tax-free and how much should be taxed. If that instruction is based on slightly out-of-date information, then the tax you pay each month is going to be slightly off. And what sort of things can change it? Honestly, all sorts of normal life events. Maybe you've started a new job halfway through the year. Perhaps you have more than one job, or a small pension is kicked in. Let's say you're a contractor in Birmingham and you get a new company car. That's a taxable benefit that will change your code. Even starting to receive your state pension will do it. All these things mean your code needs updating, and the end-of-year calculation is where it all gets squared up.
Right then, let's actually look at the calculation. I know it can seem a bit intimidating at first with all those columns of numbers, but it's really just a summary of your income, your allowances, and the tax you've paid. Let's break down what you're looking at.
Now, this is a really important point. You need to know exactly what kind of letter you've received. Most people get a P800, which is an informal calculation. But if you owe more than £3,000 or your tax affairs are a bit more complicated, you might get something called a simple assessment. That's a more formal demand for payment, so knowing which one you have is key.
And this brings us to a crucial number, £3,000. If there's one figure to remember from all of this, it's this one. This is pretty much the don't worry threshold. If your P800 says you owe less than £3,000, HMRC will almost always collect it automatically and painlessly. They just tweak your tax code for the next tax year and you pay it back in small, manageable bits from your salary. You generally won't have to lift a finger.
Okay, now for what is without a doubt the most important part of this whole process. You'll want to hear this part. You must check the figures. So many people just assume HMRC is always right, and that can be a costly mistake. It's your responsibility to make sure the calculation is correct, and this is where you take back control of the situation.
So how do you do it? It's pretty straightforward. Step 1, gather your paperwork. That means your P60 from the end of the tax year, any P45s if you left a job, and P11Ds if you get benefits. Step 2, compare the income figures on their letter with your records. Do they match up? Step 3, check your allowances. Is your full personal allowance there? And finally, Step 4, and this catches a lot of people out, look for what might be missing. For example, if you're a higher rate taxpayer and you've made gift aid donations, HMRC won't know about that and you could be due more tax relief.
And here's a pro tip from our team at ProTax Accountant. Keep an eye out for the word estimated. If you see that on your P800, it's a huge red flag. It's basically HMRC saying, look, we're having a guess here, so please correct us if we're wrong. It is always your job to check their maths, because at the end of the day, it's your money.
All right, so once you've checked all the numbers and you're happy they're right, you'll find yourself on one of three paths. Either you're due a refund, you owe a bit of tax, or you're sure the calculation is wrong and you need to dispute it.
Let's tackle the most common scenario first. You've checked it, and yep, HMRC's figures are spot on. So, what happens now? Well, that depends on whether it's good news for you or good news for them.
The process from here is actually dead simple. If you're owed a refund, you can go online using the details on the letter, and you'll have the money in your bank account in about 5 working days. If you do nothing, they'll usually just send you a check. Now, if you owe tax, and it's under that £3,000 threshold, it will be collected through your tax code next year. Stay with me because this is important. If you're worried about affording it, you can always contact HMRC to set up a time-to-pay plan. They can be flexible.
Right, let's get to the most empowering part. What happens if you've checked the figures and you are certain HMRC has got it wrong? This catches a lot of people out. They just assume the taxman is infallible. Well, they're not. You have clear rights and you have options.
And here's a piece of information that not many people know about. It's called Extra Statutory Concession A19. In simple terms, this means if you've underpaid tax because HMRC failed to use information they already had, you can ask them to write the tax off. For example, say your employer told them about a pay rise a year ago, but they only just got around to updating your tax code now. Well, that's not your fault. You can ask for ESC A19. It's a powerful tool. Now, if you disagree for any reason, you absolutely must act quickly. The clock starts ticking the moment you get that letter. You have just 30 days to contact HMRC and explain clearly why you think they're wrong. They'll then review your case. If you still don't agree with their decision, you can take it further. But the crucial point is this: do not miss that 30-day window.
So, after all that, what's the single most important message to take away? It's this: that brown envelope isn't a reason to panic. It's a prompt to engage. Don't just file it away and hope it goes away. Open it. Check it. By following these steps, you are the one who is in complete control of the process.
Of course, while this guide gives you the tools to handle this yourself, sometimes you just want the peace of mind that comes with an expert eye. If you're not sure about something, if the numbers just aren't adding up, or if your tax affairs are a bit more complex, the specialists here at ProTax Accountant are always ready to help.
And getting in touch is easy. You can reach the team directly on WhatsApp or by phone, you can drop them an email, or you can check out our YouTube channel for more helpful guides just like this one. And hey, while you're there, why not subscribe to stay informed? And finally, just the important bit of housekeeping. This has been a guide for general information. Your tax situation is unique, so you should always seek professional advice that's tailored to your specific circumstances before taking any action. All the information we've talked about today is correct as of January 2026. Thank you so much for watching.